Warning, please stay 4 to 6 feet. Coughing all over our podcast.
I'd say stay the fuck away farther than that.
46 feet.
You just go the fuck over there. I'm gonna go way over here.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Containment. Season 1, Episode 9. Season only, Episode 9. A Kingdom Divided Against Itself. I'm your host, Dom. With me is Kim.
Hello. I'd be like, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
So, now that you're all caught up and everything, what do you think of the series so far?
Like, I kind of said that I know that they decided there's only one season, but at the same time, I was contemplating, like, how would they continue the story anyway? I mean, the ultimate ending is to
Stop the virus.
To obviously stop the virus, but it's like, I understand the concept of, like, plagues that obviously can last years, but how long can you continue the story? It's the same story.
Yeah, no, I get that. They could do one of two things. They could either just drag it out and, then have the season end with, the virus got out. And then you're like, oh, shit. So that would be entertaining. Or there's another outbreak somewhere else in the world. That's two different ways that they could go to carry the story of the virus on, but would kind of change things up, keep things a little fresh. But
see the story in a whole new group of people on the other side of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
Start to see it go from being contained to being an epidemic.
Right. So unfortunately, neither of those two options are going to happen because this is a limited event series and was given the option, maybe it could be another season if it does well, but CW just overbooked their shows and didn't have room for it in the schedule this fall coming out. So, yeah. You may noticed B is the only one here. Mike and Nikki have taken a vacation. They are currently out of the country, hopefully enjoying themselves. So they will be back in 4 to 6 weeks. They'll be back in like 3.5 weeks, something like that. So hopefully they'll be back in time for the finale. I only said 4 to 6 because of the 4 to 6 feet. I thought it was funny, but then I realized it wasn't. So,
because no one got it.
Everybody got it, B. Just you didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, leaves off kind of where we left off, or it starts where we left off. Of course, it's going to leave off. No, it's not going to leave off where we left off. That would be stupid. It's going to start where we left off, with Lex and Sabine in the storage container, the shipping container.
I'm starting to wonder if, at first I was like, oh, she knows. I don't know if she knows. I'm wondering if her husband just fucking knew everything and he kept it from her.
Mm-hmm. We learned later on in this episode that Sabine was in Nantucket when the outbreak first happened. Right?
On vacation.
Yeah, she was not around. And then Leo is still doing his investigative work. He can't get a hold of Lex. He doesn't know Lex is locked in the shipping container on quarantine, so he goes ahead and does this work himself. He contacts... I don't know, who is this lady that he contacts? I kind of feel like she's an ex-wife or something, like that's the kind of feeling I got.
It did seem like there was some history, and it did seem I wouldn't call it hostile, but it was definitely not pleasing. Now, I don't know if, obviously they knew mutual people. I can't think of it. And I'm wondering if he asked her for other things before, or maybe there is a previous relationship, and he tried to get stuff out of her when they were together.
Because it almost seemed like there was a restraining order put on him, right? So it seemed like he had to go out of the way to contact her. So, he ordered a pizza. He borrowed the pizza guy's phone. He used the pizza guy's alias. He called her saying she had a pizza. Meet him someplace. She's like, I didn't order. I think you want to check out this pizza. So, it was clearly like this big roundabout way, and because he had to call her at work. She works for the NSA. So of course, phone is the worst way to get in touch with somebody at the NSA because they're being monitored.
Well, he said he actually called her at work.
Right.
So that was why the whole...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy, but he's like, all right, I need you to check on these documents for the real patient zero. Here's the time and the person's name and all this stuff. When they do, they find out it didn't go to just any regular phone. It went to a private phone that she doesn't really even have access to find out that kind of information. But all she knows is it was routed to someone in Nantucket. So we learned that just beforehand, Sabine and her husband were in Nantucket. So that either means Sabine had knowledge that she's not sharing, or her husband did. So.
I know, like, before I said that I didn't trust her,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't
She
know.
kind of opened
Her
up
husband,
this episode.
Yeah, her personality brought into question this episode, talking about how many diseases she's fought off, how many, what she's done in her career, and how she talked about the virus like it was it's obvious viruses are a living thing, more or less.
Right.
They are a parasite, but the way she spoke about it was like it was, it had a thought process.
Yeah, almost like she had a respect for it, Like, she appreciates that it has, like, this process about it, Like,
well, not this
right.
one, but other ones that they went about, they prolonged the life of the host because they're feeding off the host.
Mm-hmm.
It would make no sense just to kill it outright.
Right.
And which is what this one's doing.
So this one it begs to say that it's genetically altered. And I think that's something we're gonna find out later, that it is a genetically altered viral weapon. It's not just like, that's what we kind of suspected from the get-go, from episode 1, that it was a viral weapon. But I don't necessarily think that these people here have thought that. I'm sure it was in the back of some of their minds, but I don't think it's a common thought that this was bioterrorism.
They obviously don't know. And for a second I wondered how much the military know. But obviously at what we're seeing of military right now, they're probably at a place where they wouldn't have access to that information anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see that come from them. So
especially the National Guard. The guy in charge of the National Guard clearly doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't know how to handle a situation like this. He's never dealt with something like this before. And he's just outright not listening to Sabine, right? He sends in the ground troops. We finally make it to day 13, by the way. This is the preview that we saw all the way back in episode 1, right? Here we are 9 episodes later. We're finally, making it there. And to me, it just wasn't what I expected. It just seemed like all hell broke loose. Shit was going down, all that, and it all was done in like a matter of 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was very quiet, like it backed down or whatever. But I think you get across a few points, being that the guy in charge of that card, I hated him last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hated him. Guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't you listening to people? You got some whatever, you get some authority trip you got fucking going on. You're like, I know what I'm doing. We're trained for this, blah, 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 blah. And then he sends them in there and all hell breaks loose. And it's like, congratulations. You just got you pretty much put all you did. You put all of your troops in danger.
Mm-hmm.
It is all your fault if they die. and you have to live with it on your conscience for like forever. And you already knew it. Like the moment all that went down wrong, and he finally did exactly what she told him to do. That's when it like, well, I fucked up.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, and congratulations, you now have to live with that fuck up the rest of your life. And all of those those soldiers' families have to. Right, it's all of their blood. If they die, is on your hands. Every bit of it, 100% your fault.
Yep.
And I'm all like, it's a bittersweet, shit. It's like, yeah, great, you finally got what's coming to him because you were a fucking idiot and didn't listen. So, but at the same time, it's at the cost of people's lives.
Yeah, and Sabine was just kind of like, contact their families. They deserve to see him before they die. I was just
Oh
like,
yeah,
ooh.
she, yeah, she stuck the knife and twisted.
Yeah, she was not pussyfooting around, for lack of a better word.
There was no sugarcoat.
No,
Yeah, at all.
no.
And
So
I thought it was funny that when she turned and said, should I, should I have been nicer? Should I have not done what I just did? And it was, she's like, no, I did the right thing. It was the same thing in her going on in her head too. You just cost them their lives,
yeah,
and I want you to know that.
yep,
You need to know that you fucked up. And you
yep.
already know, but I want to make sure. I want to dig that into your head.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not only like the fact that it fucked up and just affected the soldiers, right? We see the whole like process of everything he did before sending the soldiers in, like the extraction and messing all that up and not doing things, the way that Lex wanted to do it in the first place. Because of all this protesting, we see Bert basically break his leg. Right? He's bringing food back and supplies
I don't know if
back
his leg. I
to
think it might have been his ankle,
maybe, or his knee or
but
something.
yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah. And he tries to get the supplies back to his wife Michelin, and they get stolen. He
Some
gets pushed
shithead.
into the crate, and either twists his ankle or his knee or breaks something. We don't exactly
Something
know.
snapped.
He
You heard
can't.
the snap.
Well, he fell onto a wooden pallet. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
work with those quite often, and that is the noise that it would make if you fell onto one. So
I didn't see the palette. That does make sense now.
yeah, so we don't necessarily know of anything broken, but you can easily break a leg getting your foot caught and twisting the wrong way inside those pellets, and that's exactly what it looked like. His foot, his ankle got caught in between the brackets of the pallet, and then he fell and he kind of twisted a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. It could be his knee, it could be his ankle, it could be his leg. We don't exactly know, but all we know is he cannot stand up right now, and that's not
Can
good.
we say that as nice as and sweet as a person he is, and I actually almost cried during this whole thing because all I could think about is like he's such a nice guy and all this bad shit is happening right now. Um, as I guess everyone, I guess I've joined the oh he's so cute a group
Bert is adorable.
of um I just I felt so bad for this scene. I'm like, oh my god, literally, like this whole episode is just this chain of shit.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm like,
I mean, the only thing that wasn't tragic was, the stuff going on at BitScan, where they're just kind of cleaning up over there. They're aware of the petition, the rioting, and all that, but they're just like, we're gonna mind our own business and clean up and make this secure. Like they're not gonna have to worry about people breaking in right at the moment. People are going nuts on the protesting. They have time. They can reinforce and secure everything that they need to there. You know, but when they go in, they're looking for Xander and Teresa. They're not there. They decided that they're gonna go to her grandma's, which Teresa's grandmother is Michelin, right? Making Bert her grandfather.
right.
So they don't know what happened with her cutting her leg last episode. They don't know about Bert falling in the street. They're just on the move this episode trying to make it there, and they get cut off by the protest. And then they're like, oh, let's sneak through. Teresa thinks she sees her mother in there. Xander goes after her. It's not her mother. In the meantime, Xander gets coughed on and touched by, one of the protesters out there. At least there's some nice guys still in there, helped him out. But Now he's worried that he could be infected. And then you see Teresa get hit in the stomach earlier, during the National Guard incident. She gets knocked down. She can't get up. Xander can't help her up because he's worried that he's infected, doesn't want to get her infected. It's a big mess. It's a big mess.
That's only half of the bowl. The whole thing with the kids and I have horrible names. All I know is right now you're the jerk. You're a jerk. I'm gonna run off with the kids, and they call him a jerk. Like they obviously they don't trust him, and then I'm like, if you don't really trust him, why did you give him the kids in the first place?
Yeah, that guy was kind of shady.
Yeah,
I didn't like
really,
him.
really was. Then he runs
But Katie and Jake wanted to go on their date.
It was cute. Okay, so we got one cute scene. I mean, like the whole beginning, you had cute scenes. You had the little date and the little guitar playing and his
You mean the terrible
horrible
guitar play?
song.
Yeah.
Like the horrible song that he made off the top of his head at that specific moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute, tried, but um, and then Bert being this sweet, like rainbows and sunshine. Everyone's dying and bombs are going off outside, but it's all glowy.
Yeah. At least Katie can play and sing. At least there's that. Setting the tone for their dehydrated picnic.
It was cute.
It was.
The whole scene was cute. It's taking those little all of the even during all of the bowl. All of the nice things that are happening. It can't be all bullshit all that.
Right. I mean, and then they get interrupted because they're like, oh, people are trying to escape. So of course, Jake's got to go look because he's still a police officer. He's still playing the role. He sees one of his other officers working with the gang, and he's like, "You still playing police officer?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm still playing police officer." And he's got a situation to handle, and then he realizes he's a target with the police gear on, so he goes to change out of it. In the meantime, him and Katie get separated, and we find out that the little girl Mary got sick, and she gets really badly injured, and Katie's first reaction is to pick her up and help her. Katie doesn't know that she's sick. And now...
She also gets a cut on her head, and... I pretty much think that girl was pretty much dead the moment she got hit by the truck.
Yeah. But now we don't know if Katie's infected. What do you think? Do you think Katie's infected?
I don't know. I mean, it would be like this. I know how. I mean, it'd be a big thing for the show. I mean, they have that big, huge. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, it's not like you aren't attached to all these other people, but you just started having like this little romance going on, and they're kind of technically, I feel like they're stronger main characters than some of the other ones, and because you get a lot of them, right. And it's you're like, oh, it's this this cuteness in the middle of all this the shit, like I said a little bit ago, and then they had their weird shower sex scene thing through plastic
wrap shower sex.
Yeah, so I and then you get like this big, huge, it would be a real tragic death.
Yeah.
If it did happen. So, I mean, it's at the same time, it could be like that last minute. She does get sick, but like they find the cure last minute kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like she's keeping herself together fairly well until Jake walks away to go get Quentin, and she just breaks down. She screams, she's crying, like she's not taking it well at all.
Well, I think I think at first she was in shock, complete shock, because she ran off into the shower and she's like scrubbing herself just to I'm sure she probably scrubbed herself till it hurt. I'm not surprised she didn't pour bleach over her head or something. I mean, obviously we know that doesn't work, but I don't know. Maybe well, I don't think it might work.
Right.
I mean, they do cleaning and stuff, and the bleach pretty much kills pretty much anything. But it wouldn't, obviously wouldn't fix her insides. But she did. She went into a panic a little bit, and Jake is already broke down. He already is assuming that she's sick, that he's gonna lose her.
Yeah, he's assuming the worst, and rightfully so. You have to.
Yeah, he's staying strong in front of her, and she was staying strong in front of him once the shock wore off.
Yeah.
So then, obviously split ways, and he
If
was crying away from her, and then
if that's going to be the case, I think Quentin is going to end up going along with Jake. If because that's all he's got that we know of. We don't know what's waiting for him outside. They kind of alluded to that last week, but we still don't know. We don't know what's going on with Quentin's father.
well, so there's some custody battles, things or whatever. Obviously the dad might somewhat be involved in some spec.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's a good person or a bad person, but yeah, she sounded like her life was pretty crappy, so he might be an asshole.
Yeah.
But we don't know. But another thing is what I was getting is Jake seemed to be kind of a player. He didn't settle down with anybody, and then all of a sudden, he starts to really change,
Yeah.
and then everything goes to shit.
Yep. It's kind of unfortunate, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes down. I don't know. Things are just starting to get crazy. I don't exactly know how many episodes we have, until the finale. I don't know if there's 12 or 13 episodes. Right now we're on episode 9. And they only have listed up to 11 at the moment. So, yeah. I don't know. But some good news, at least, though we know that this is the last season for Containment, 2 of the stars from the show will be moving over to some of Julie Plec's other shows, The Vampire Diaries and the Originals. Katie is going to be moving over to The Vampire Diaries. She is going to be joining, playing a character as Celine. A warm, nurturing nanny of 2 young kids by day and a small town girl trying to find her place in a dangerous world by night. Bonded to her new family in ways she can't explain, Celine will fight desperately to protect the one she loves. So we know she'll have a reoccurring role coming up in season 8 of The Vampire Diaries. And Jana will be joining the originals in season 4 as Keelan, who is a smart, strong, resourceful ER doctor and the last living werewolf of her bloodline. Keelan is openly bisexual, warm, and unguarded by nature. After the rest of her family was hunted extinction, she went into hiding, and since she's deliberately avoided getting too close to anyone, she lives in fear of being discovered by the wrong people and has no idea she's currently on a collision course with the Michelsons. So she will reoccur beginning with the first episode of season 4. So it's going to be interesting to see some of these characters transition over to, other CW shows that we watch and stuff, and with Julie. And that really has me hopeful that maybe we might get Chris Wood back as Kai. Because...
So Kai is dead. Well, we think he's dead. It's possible there are ways that he can be brought back if so.
Yeah, spoilers, Kai may have died on the Vampire Diaries, but we see him die, right? But we've also seen him pull illusions in the past where he looked like he died. So we don't know for sure if he died. We're just under the assumption, everybody's under the assumption that he died. But it could have been an illusion this whole time, and he could actually be walking around and been in hiding the last, take a breather. And, who knows? But if that's the case, if Katie's coming over to Vampire Diaries, and we get Jake/Kai back over the Vampire Diaries, maybe we get something going on between them, and have their story not really, but kind of carried over.
In a really messed up way. Okay.
Yep.
Kai's fucking nuts.
Yep. So, Next week, the episode is called A Time to Be Born. Dun dun dun. Teresa goes into labor. When Teresa goes into labor, Jana, Susie, and Sam band together to turn Bitscan into a makeshift delivery room. Meanwhile, after spending some time with Dr. Lammers, Lex grows concerned after noticing a sudden shift in her behavior. Elsewhere, Leo continues to unravel the conspiracy behind the virus outbreak, while Jake stumbles upon some damning information about who may be involved. Finally, fed up with his lies, Katie confronts Dr. Cannerts. So, it's going to be a serious episode. Shit's hit the fan, and now things are escalating quickly. And it's only going to get quicker and quicker from here. So, I'm excited for next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Probably more deaths and things. And you know what we didn't talk about?
Who?
What's her name being pregnant?
Teresa?
No. The obviously Teresa's pregnant. No, the other group of people.
Susie?
Can't remember their names. Yeah.
Susie? Up on the roof, Susie?
Yes.
I must have missed that. I don't remember them mentioning she was pregnant. Oops.
Remember, she got mad. She was upstairs, and she was getting so mad. She was like, "I'm going out. I'm getting out of here." And they had this big, huge conversation about, well, no, you can't go out there. And she's like, "You can't." And then she finally came up and say why she was really upset and why she was getting freaked out. She's like, "Because that people."
Oh, well, I remember everything up to that point, so I must have been distracted for that one small part because it's so small and insignificant.
Well, she was talking. They actually were sitting on their thing. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out. I'll get supplies. I'll get a pregnancy test." There was a whole conversation.
I missed it. Completely missed it. So yeah, Susie being pregnant. That's gonna be.
By a married man. No.
I would hate though, to have to give birth in there. I feel bad for Teresa. I don't feel bad for Susie. She's got 9 months to figure this shit out and get out of there. And they're not gonna be in there for 9 months. Hopefully. We don't have that many episodes left. They can't be in there for 9 months. So.
Okay.
I'm not worried about Susie. I'm worried about Teresa.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa's giving birth next episode. Maybe. It may just be... And the way she got hit in the stomach, it may be a not good birth.
Difficult.
Something tragic could have happened to the baby. The way she got hit. So, she could have a stillbirth for all we know. And that would be bad.
She would have started bleeding.
Maybe. Not always. Most of the time.
Not hardcore, but it would at least have showed some.
Most of the time, but not always.
But it doesn't mean...
About 95% of the time, yes, there will be blood, but there's still that 5% that you won't have any signs until it's too late. So, we just know she got hit hard. So, we'll have to see. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully Katie's not infected. The way she's gonna confront Dr. Cannerts sounds to me like maybe she's walking around, so who knows? But Cannerts could come to her as well.
Which she has to be locked up, isn't it 48 hours or something?
He's currently in quarantine, we know that. So, depends on the time gap between this episode and next. But I think that's about it. B, where can the people find you?
On the Twitters at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter.
Getting worse.
Yeah, 4 to 6 feet, B. Stay 4 to 6 feet. And right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast. For some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Till next week. 4 to 6 feet, guys.
Bye-bye.
And in B's case, 46 feet.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Okay.